What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Evo 3 maintenance video. I got a few things planned for today, so stay tuned. So some of you guys might have seen the last brake video I did a little while back, and I was trying to get the calipers compressed and I didn't have the special tool at the time. A lot of you guys commented. I really appreciate the feedback. However, after I shot that vid, the next day I went to O'Reilly's and rented the little compressor tool that they had, and this piston here is fully seized. Will not compress, will not unscrew, no matter how much muscle I put into it. It just would not go. I had the brake cylinder reservoir open and I tried everything I could to get the new brake pads in and compress that piston, but it just wasn't having it. So I said screw it, went ahead and found a set of, I got Mirage 1.8 liter, I think from a 95. These are refurbished calipers, but they look brand spanking new, and they've got all little caps, new hardware. They even came with some new pads. Now, I looked at the markings on the Evo 3 calipers and they are a little different, but I lined them up next to each other and I mean, they look identical. And somebody on the Evo 123 Owners Club forum, if you're not on there and you have an Evo 123 or a variation, something similar, definitely go check it out. A lot of smart dudes on there, but somebody said these are compatible, should work. So fingers crossed, that is the plan for today. And before I forget, shout out to the anonymous person that sent me a sticker for my toolbox. I really appreciate it. And a few more updates. I replaced the clutch and brake pedal on the Evo 3. This is the part number here. And I actually ordered this off of STM, and these were for a 3000 GT, and they fit. So for the Evo 3 guys or Evo 1 through 3 guys in the States, if you want to replace your brake pedals, it was like $6 for each piece of rubber. STM, awesome, shipped to my door super quick. And then I also got a valve spring compressor tool. Now I haven't edited the video yet. I've been really lazy, I'm not gonna lie, but the head is off. And you guys will see this in a later video, but I did manage to get a 4G63 spring compressor tool. So we'll go ahead and get all this valve train maybe tomorrow, and then get the head sent off, get the block sent off, cleaned, and then keep the 4G63 build going. And one last thing before I forget, in that brake video, my Craftsman tool, my 3/8 ratchet, completely went out, and I went to Lowe's, tried to replace just the actual ratchet itself, and they were like, well, you got it in a tool set, so you got to replace the entire tool set. And I was like, I've got a bunch of stickers, I sticker bombed it. I don't think that's gonna happen. So I called Craftsman directly, and they did send me a brand new one, so hopefully this one doesn't break. But I think it took like 10 to 14 business days. I've been waiting on it a while, so we got that. But let's get to the brakes for today. So I got 2 calipers. I still have the set of pads. However, I threw the pads in here and I did drive it when I was testing it. I don't know if they're bedded in properly, and this one's definitely rubbing, so there might be some, I don't know, disfigurement, maybe some burning on that pad. So I might just use the ones that it came with. We got some good old O'Reilly's DOT3 top 3 brake fluid. I got a brake bleeder kit, hose line clamp, boom, some brake cleaner, and then brake and caliper grease, and we'll go ahead and get these all greased up. So first step, we're gonna get the Evo lifted up, get the wheels off, standard procedure, and then get the calipers off. Now the only thing I'm worried about is the actual e-brake and the e-brake cable. I don't have any experience dealing with it, but I think I can figure it out. So hopefully I have everything I need, and we'll go ahead and get these brakes on. Now, I did want to get these painted. I was thinking about hitting them with rattle can, but I do plan on doing the fronts here very soon, and I have my eyes on a few different kits. And I was thinking of doing black. Jeez. And every time I'm filming, it's just the noisiest neighborhood, I'll tell you what. Completely lost my train of thought with that Mazda pickup. Anyways, let's just go ahead and get to the brakes. All right, I'm done rambling. Let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm not going to film a whole lot because I did in the previous video, but we'll kind of do bits and pieces and give you step by step, because I know there are some Evo 3 guys out there that are actually curious. My guys in the US that have these cars, there's no parts for an Evo 3. You can't go to O'Reilly's and say, hey, I have a 95 Evo 3, I need XYZ. You have to get creative. And there have been some pioneers in UK, Australia, New Zealand, elsewhere that have had these cars and experimented. But for us, we're trying to figure out what works for us here in the US. So I'm really hoping these work. I'm really hoping. They should. They look identical, but you never know. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work. All right, guys, I got the driver's side caliper off. The e-brake cable is a little bit of a pain in the butt. I had to put some muscle into it, but I managed to get everything off. And then over here we have a side-by-side comparison of the 95 Mitsubishi Mirage 1.8 liter rear brake caliper compared to the Evo 3 brake caliper. Now some markings we see, I think 56N, 25T, I think T1 here, T2 here. We got the R0152, but they are pretty much identical. You can see the banjo bolt hole here and here. We got the bleeder nipple, e-brake spring mechanism, all that good stuff, everything. Go ahead and flip it over. Take a look at the actual piston, and you guys can see right here, it's about as far as I could get it compressed, but these things are old, 25-year-old car. So I get all this out of here. And here is the piston. So almost positive these are going to work. I don't know if the braking power is any different. I don't know if this piston has any more benefits than this piston. I mean, the markings are a little different, but everything from the naked eye, they're identical calipers. Now I'm gonna have to prep this one. It has all the actual like little slides for the brake pads, everything in here. I'm gonna take that caliper grease, I'm gonna lube up all the parts where there's gonna be friction, and then we'll hook it back up and try to get it on the car. And then the only thing I'm worried about is that freaking e-brake cable. It's kind of a pain to get off. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit harder to get on. Once we get this on though, then we'll work on the other side and we'll go from there. So far, it's looking good. I'm excited. And I went ahead and transferred the, well, I had it transferred, little plates to the brake pads, but check this brake pad out. This is the one that was on there, and this was brand new. I put this on, I don't know, last week, and I drove the car around the block a few times. Check this out. Yeah, this caliper was toast. So good thing this came with new pads. I didn't expect this pad to be like this, but that is no bueno. And then here is the other one, a little bit of glazing right here. And just a little heads up, I did take the little brake pad clips here off of the OEM caliper, because the ones on here were pretty flimsy, and I think there was like 2 for each side compared to like the one big clip that goes on here. So I hit it with some brake cleaner, but they snapped right on, which is definitely a good sign. So you don't have to reuse them. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I don't know, I feel like this clip is a little bit more sturdy than these. Like, you barely touch these and they pop right off. Just my 2 cents if you end up going this route. All right guys, the new caliper is on. Everything bolted up perfectly. All the bracket holes, alignment, awesome. So I can confirm that the 1.8 liter rear calipers do fit on a 95 Evo 3, which should work on the 1 and 2 as well. Don't quote me on that. Got everything in here. We got the 2 14mm bracket bolts on the back, the 12mm slide right here. We got the brake pads on, all the new hardware, and I was able to get the e-brake line back in. It wasn't actually too tough. It was just kind of a pain in the butt trying to, I don't know, get everything clipped in. And then we've got the new bleeder valve here and 2 crush washers. There's a copper crush washer from the banjo to the caliper, and then the top of the bolt in the banjo here. And then even right here, everything lined up perfectly. So that is all good news. Now we're gonna go on the other side, do the same exact thing, and then it'll be the moment of truth once we get the brakes bled, and hopefully my work pays off and I can stop the Evo and no more rubbing of the brake pads on the rotor. Getting there slowly but surely. A lot of little projects, but hey, it's a beautiful day out. I enjoy this, and hopefully I can help some of you guys. So stay tuned, and we'll pick back up on the other side. Boom, the passenger rear caliper is on. Minor hiccup on this side. I got everything off fairly easily, and then when I took the brake line and I pretty much raised it up to prevent all the brake fluid from draining out, the stress that it put right there, it started leaking a little bit of fluid out of here. Only when the brake line was fully up. When I put it back down, it stopped leaking from over here and it was just coming out the banjo. Now I have everything buttoned back up and it's not leaking anymore. However, I'm afraid when I go to bleed the brakes and I actually put pressure in the system that it might leak from that point, and then I'll need new brake lines. Hopefully not. I do plan on doing the fronts, so when I do the fronts, I was already gonna do brake lines. Might as well go ahead and do the rear brake lines too. I'm just trying to get the car drivable right now, but we'll see. We'll bleed it and then check back down here and see if it's leaking. If it is, then the car is gonna sit. Hopefully not. I'm not sure if that's normal or not. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get the front of the car raised up, and then I'm going to try to bleed the brake system essentially and see if it was a job well done. I am so excited, guys. So my wife helped me bleed the brakes. I got everything back on. I had it lifted up, 4 jack stands, all wheels removed. And for the bleeding process, I started back left, back right, front left, front right. Pretty much you want to go furthest spot from the brake master cylinder, which is on the right side, is a right-hand drive car. So boom, 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 boom. And got all the air out of the system. Took it for a little test drive, started out slow, did a few brake checks here and there, did some hard braking, e-brake, everything works as it should. I'm so stoked right now. And I went ahead and I wiped this wheel down. I got to come up with a solution, and I think I'm just going to get it powder coated. And I was talking about going black, but I think I just want to keep the white on white. I don't think I can bring myself to it. So expect that in the future. We'll probably get these powder coated white, and then I'll put some new inky stickers on there, get some new wheel lugs, get the rear calipers painted when I get the front calipers. It's between Willwood and Brembo right now. There's a few different options, so more to come on that, but I definitely want to get all the brakes done, braided lines, new rotors, new pads, calipers. Then I won't have to worry about it anymore. Then we can look at coilovers, and we still got the engine, whole bunch of stuff going on, but little by little progress. And at least I have the, somewhere over here, the old 3000 GT, which reminds me I have to put the air filter in. I might do that here in a minute, but at least I have this, so I don't have to drive the Evo every day when I'm going to work and all that good stuff. So it can sit here and I can really focus on getting this car in as good a shape as I possibly can. I've got a laundry list of things to do. So I thank you guys for sticking around, sticking with the channel, really giving me support, feedback, all that good stuff. I've been mentioning it over and over and over again, and it really drives me to keep the Evo content coming for you guys. I know I'll backfill a little 3000 GT here and there, but expect a lot of big things for this car. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and bounce out, enjoy the rest of my weekend. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned for more content. Later.